this is a quick kind of state of our course for the rest of the year. As you know now that school's closed for the rest of the school year. So I kind of want to give you an update of my plan of action for APUS moving forward and kind of how it affects you and my expectations of you. So here's kind of what we're going to do. The AP test is May 15th, 2 p.m., and if you didn't watch my video from last week with Mr. Sig, we kind of went over some of the strategies for that, right? It's a 45-minute DBQ with only 5 documents. We went over the rubric, which I'll also post on the classroom for this week. And you can go over that in terms of that. So those of you that are taking the AP test, definitely review that. Obviously our preparation for the next couple weeks is going to be for the AP test. Even if you're not taking it, it's a nice review of the course, and kind of in lieu of a final will be this kind of preparation. Now, I don't plan on having you actually write a DBQ in the next 4 weeks. It takes a lot of time. I think it's difficult to kind of ask that of you, and I don't know what your other classes are doing or what your time kind of is, and I don't want to take that up. So I'll kind of go through what my preparation will be, and then what optionally you can do if you want feedback and want that more preparation for the test. So we can cover all our bases here. So each week moving forward until the AP test, we're going to cover a different historical period in review. We're going to start with historical period 3, which is the first possible historical period on the AP test, 1754 to 1800. It's going to be this week. See the other video for this week where I go through that. Week after, historical period 4, 5, 6, and the week of the AP test, historical period 7, the most recent. We'll kind of review that. Each week, what I'm going to post is a kind of cheat sheet that I made, and I'll go over that very quickly, kind of the setup of that. Basically, my goal is to make these kind of 2-page cheat sheets for you for the AP test. So if you're taking it, you can print them out. You can have them written in a notebook. You can print them out and take notes on them. Something that you can pull out, hey, this is about the American Revolution. Let me pull out historical period 3. Here's my 2 cheat sheets. And I can, you can do that in 5 seconds. Not going to take time on the AP test. And you have some things at your disposal to utilize for outside information, for kind of context. How I've set these cheat sheets up is first kind of topics to know. These are straight from the College Board of topics to know for this historical period. I think some are more important than others. I think you can read them and you can probably have a good sense of what we covered more or less, within those. So those are taken straight from the College Board, and I may have put, some parentheses and some additional information there. Then we have the themes of the course, which will be the same for each historical period, but I'll kind of give bullet points. I kind of adapted what Khan Academy has done, and added to that a little bit or changed the wording, I think, to fit this year and this test better. And then under each theme, I have some key pieces of outside information. So, for example, in this historical period 3, one of the themes is politics and power. That usually is pretty loaded. So I have a lot of key pieces of information from that, pre-revolution to 1800 period, everything from the Sons of Liberty and Boston Tea Party to the Alien Sedition Acts, right? So things that you could pull out if they're not in the documents on the DBQ and use as outside pieces of information. So that's what we're going to be doing each week. I'll give you this cheat sheet. I'll do a little lecture recorded about that cheat sheet, just going over it, reading through it a little bit, so that, if for some reason you can't access it or you're better visually that you can, or audibly that you can listen to it and take notes from that. And so you can kind of pick and choose your poison there of what's the best way for you to get this information to have on hand for the AP test or for some of the assignments that we're doing. So that's each week. This week, historical period 3, and we'll move forward from there. So you get the cheat sheet each week. The other thing will be there'll basically be one assignment a week, okay? And that assignment is pre-writing a DBQ with 5 documents, okay? And that's all it is. All that you have to do is pre-write, which everyone in this course has done well. And in my opinion, if you can pre-write for the DBQ, then you can pass the AP test, right? If you can pre-write a DBQ really well, then you can write it really well. There's no one in this course, I feel like your writing skills are so poor that you can't do that. So I'm going to give you a DBQ modified from either one from a previous AP test or from some of the experts online or some others that I've found, modify it to 5 documents, and allow you to pre-write. So I'll give you the pre-writing chart, likely that we've used throughout the entire school year because it's pretty similar. And we'll kind of go from there. You could submit this in multiple ways, just like your SAQs that you did before spring break. I had them submitted in many different ways, which is awesome. Type it up in a Google Doc, share it. Write it in a notebook and send me pictures. Great. You can print out the pre-writing chart and write straight on it, as we have done in class. Awesome. Send me pictures of that. That's fine. Do what's best for you. I can grade anything. I'll figure it out. Okay, so type it, write it, whatever, on the paper, not on the paper. If you can't print things out, I know that's not always a thing. That's fine. You don't have to. Okay, you don't have to print any of this stuff out. Just have it as reference for yourself. Okay, so if you have questions about submitting, let me know. We'll figure it out. It won't be a problem. So that's all that you have to do is read the DBQ, read the documents, do a pre-writing chart. Should take you half hour, one class period, and the other class period will be that cheat sheet lecture for you. That's kind of my goal. And if you have 3 that week, then you can spread it out over that week. So my goal really is an hour of work a week that you have to do. Now, if you would like to write that DBQ, you can, okay? No one has to. It's completely optional. But if you want to write it, even write part of it, you want to write a thesis paragraph, you want to write it just a contextualization, you want to write just a synthesis, any part of it or the whole thing, you can do that. Now, I once again, not going to require you to write a DBQ. We have, a lot of people not taking the AP test. That's fine. I think if you can pre-write the DBQ, it's a great review for these historical periods. 2, there's different levels of comfortability. I feel like each of you have with this AP test and how you want to prepare. Some of you may be, really focusing on other AP tests, and that's going to be your focus in the next 4 weeks. Fine. Do the DBQ pre-writing. I think you'll be good. But if some of you want, I'm not sure if my contextualization paragraphs are great. You can optionally do it. Send it to me. I'll give you feedback by the middle of next week. Or in that final week, I'll be sure to give you feedback before the AP test happens itself. So that is optional. I'll make that very clear in the Google Classroom. There's not going to be any required writing of a DBQ here. So that's going to kind of be the setup. But if you want to send me a part of it, if you want to send me the whole thing, I will read it. I will give you feedback. Hey, this is great. This is great. This is great. This is something that could be changed or be better. My hope is, we're going to look at 5 DBQs in the next 5 weeks before the AP test, and probably one of those is going to be pretty close to what the AP test will be, or it might be a combination of a couple of them over historical periods. This is new territory. We'll see what it is, but I think you'll have a good idea of each historical period, and you'll have these cheat sheets you can pull out, have outside information, get those 1 or 2 points very, very quickly and easily. So that's kind of the plan, right? I've attached to this post, once again, the rubric for this year from Tom Ritchie, adapted from the College Board rubric, the pre-writing charts and all that, the cheat sheets and the DBQ to pre-write for. I'm going to have office hours starting this week and every week up through the AP test. Will be on Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. These are completely optional. You don't have to come. It'll be on Google Hangouts. I'll post more information on Wednesday or Thursday and how you can get in if you have questions, if you want to talk about the AP test, questions about that, questions about content, questions about how to write it or writing DBQs. I'll be available in that hour. If it doesn't work for you, look, you can always email me. You can comment on the Google Classroom. I've had people do that before. Answer those questions there. If I have enough people attend or ask questions in other ways, then maybe I'll make kind of a Q&A video down the line of questions that I've gotten that may be helpful. So you don't have to come to these, but I thought it might be a nice option if once again, you're really prepped for this test, you feel like you can really do well, then I wanted to give you that opportunity. So that's kind of the situation for the class. If you have questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to address them. And if I missed anything, I'll post it up in the Google Classroom. Thanks, everyone. Hope you're doing well, and hope to talk to you soon.